Tom, do you have a question?
Yes, actually two. First off, if you had that, if Vivendi had stepped in and said, okay, we're willing to subsidize the complete retooling of the game, would it have gotten released originally in its original format and just you would have hoped for the best?
If they hadn't decided to do the rehaul thing? Pretty much. I mean, at this point, the studio had spent all that time developing this property, working with Atari to, that was, at the time, that was the best game it could have been. So that's what would have gotten released, yeah. But it was, once they brought up the idea of delaying it, and of course we were all we had to put our knives down and everything because, well, I'm going to ship this tomorrow. We started to see their way and started to realize that, okay, they have a point, we could do something really special with this.
And so it all started as a retooling for marketing purposes to be able to really make it a huge hit and success. But now that you've done all of this, in addition to, and you talked about how all the additional enhancements have been made to the game while you retooled it for marketing, how much better and how much more proud of the game are you now than when it was originally released?
It's really a new game. It's really, the post-mortem on this thing is going to be the most ridiculous post-mortem ever because this game is it's almost older than I am, it's just insane. But I'm definitely much more proud of what we've managed to do with it. Because you look at the legacy of this thing, where the very first version was on the PlayStation 2 and it was being shopped around. So you look at something from PlayStation 2, upgraded to Xbox, eventually ported to Xbox 360, was ported to 360, and then with this extra year, we managed to go back and build things from the ground up for the next generation. So the game that would have come out in 2006 wasn't necessarily a next generation game, but it was a port of an Xbox One game. With this, we've managed to build up, several new technologies, higher res art assets, more sound technology. We have a brand new sound engine, physics, a lot of things that just weren't possible with the game before. So, I mean, not only is it a new game, but it doesn't really compare as far as generations go.
In one of the interviews mentioned that after the retooling the game was announced, I talked to people off the roof. But as the cycle progressed and you got closer to finishing this new game, I imagine Bungie Studios never wants to look at the Master Chief again. Was it like that? The developers were kind of sick and tired of being chained to this product and they had other things they wanted to get onto? Or was this that magical opportunity to work their wish list into it and redo the whole game and really, all the ideas that you had later in the development cycle now came out? What was the sentiment coming through towards the end of the cycle?
Well, first, I think Bungie would be happy to look at the Master Chief again if you wave a huge check in front of him. So, exactly. It was a nice combination of the both. I mean, at first you had a lot of the people, especially the people responsible for the things that got overhauled the most, like the art style and a lot of the graphics and some of the level design and the weapons. Every weapon was redone. Yes. Yeah. So we've had the same people responsible for the old version of the game, or the same exact people who made the new one. Actually, we've hired a lot more people. I don't know, maybe 30 to 40 or something like that, new people to bring on just to help finish it and do it the way we really wanted to. But sure, I mean, you're dealing with people and egos, and people are going to say, "Oh, I did this stuff before." You're saying you don't like it now, but after a little acclimation period, when we had to say and just have candid discussions and say, "Okay, with Atari, this was fine, but now this is what we're doing." So internally we're calling it Time Shift 2, really, because the first game was done. But after talking enough and getting it across, everyone was on the same page saying, okay, that's what we did, that was then, this is now, what do we got to do now to make this game the best? So after a while, everyone came on board and really, had a good time finishing it and doing something that no one has ever really done before, the video game.
Was that second piece you showed us inside that convenience store, is that a commercial, like for movie theaters or TV?
That's a clip that's being shown around. It's on game trailers right now. I don't know if there's any plans to use it in the future in different ways or exactly what it's tied to, but it's a clip from Time Shift the movie, as you can see from game trailers.
You said Time Shift the movie?
Oh, I was going to ask you.
What's that?
I was going to say, is it going to be like a mini-series on the Sci-Fi Channel?
Yeah. I actually don't know what anything past that is, what we're going to be doing with that for plans, but so just as a sneak peek of something that's going to happen, there you go.
Kind of like Max Payne movie coming around.
Slightly.
Maybe a cameo here?
Yeah, I was actually the old man at the end of the convenience store part. I'm wearing makeup right now, so.
What was the balance of direction between you guys at Saber and Vivendi and sort of the outside, I guess, contractors or people for directing those, directing the movie clip and the trailers and all that?
Mm-hmm. Actually, those were done by outsourcing media productions specialty firms. So we didn't do those specifically. We didn't do the live action one. It was all handled by Vivendi and their marketing team in conjunction with in the game that we're building. But the CG trailer that you saw before uses in-game assets. So the enemies there, the tank was actually completely redone that you saw. The one in the game is much more high-res and crazy looking. All those environments and even the player's suit are all assets straight from the game. So what we did was we took those assets and the company that just makes these trailers, put them together and used motion capture to do that.
Did you guys provide feedback, or what was the feedback from your side for those assets?
Not a whole lot of feedback there. Mainly we just provided them the assets and they told us the direction they were going and they said okay. Because we primarily wanted to just focus on the game, and let publishers do what publishers do, which is financing and distribution and marketing. So that was really most of their effort there. Any other questions?
Did you, when you redesigned the game, were you looking at things like I'm sure you're saying, we'd like to be like Halo, where we have sequels among sequels. So did you design certain things in the game, the new game design, that would anticipate sequels?
Well, there are definitely advantages to doing that, to being able to go and put some finishing touches on something with a new outlook on what could possibly happen. So while some things that were completely overhauled were overhauled to provide possibilities for things we could do later, we wanted to make sure that this game really stood on itself and provided a good foundation to start what could hopefully or possibly be a franchise. But to do that, you have to have a strong first step. So we really made sure to focus all of our efforts in this one. But there may be a couple things in there that are like, what's that? I don't know what that is. That may kind of become clear later. Okay, well, thank you very much.
All right. Is the company going to publish the post-mortem on Game Sutra or somewhere?
There'll be a book come out in 9 volumes.
All right, so inexplicably we're ending early. This is new and different and exciting. But, to the bar. So thank you guys for all making it out. It's great to see such a good turnout for September, and see you guys in a couple months.